Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Jenny here. So on today's video, I'm going to be talking about my visa process. If you have read my bio, then you already know that I am from Kenya. I'm originally from Kenya, born in Nyeri, and then hustled and went to school in Nairobi. So my visa process started back in 2018. Is it 2018? Okay, started back in 2018. But then I was not sure if America was a place that I wanted to relocate to. It was just a place that I wanted to visit. So 2018, I was working at Junction Mall as a beauty consultant and makeup artist at Linton's Beauty World. And so when I quit that job, I decided to become a freelance makeup artist. And then fast forward to 2019 or 2018, I visited Dubai. And so I decided that now the next country that I want to visit is either Spain or America. So I started my visa process of a visiting visa to come to America. So I started the process in 2019. That's when I really decided that maybe this year or in 2020 I'm going to visit America. So I started my visiting visa, which is the B1, B2 visiting visa. The embassy, I filled in all the DS, and then I filled all those documents, and I even got an embassy date, which was the 4th of November. As I'm filming this, it's on the 4th of November 2023. And 4th of November, it's a very, very memorable day for me, because also 4th of November 2021 is the day that the embassy would give me my visa. So let's backdate it to now 2019, when they gave me an embassy date for the 4th of November. I wasn't sure. I wasn't like so excited about it. I wasn't like, oh my god, but still I wanted that approval to be given a visiting visa to come to America, because when you get a visiting visa to come to America, you're given a visiting visa for 5 years. So I was like, even if I get it, I don't have to travel right away. I can travel anytime that I want to. So wakanipatia 4th of November as my embassy date. I got ready, but I can say that I wasn't as ready as I would get ready now in 2021 when I was going for my appointment. Guess what happens on the 3rd of November 2019? The embassy sends me a message to tell me that they have to cancel my appointment, which was the following day. I was so ready, like the 3rd of November, I was so ready. I was nervous, I was anxious. I did not know what to expect. What? 3rd of November, they sent me a message to tell me that unfortunately we have to cancel the dates for the embassy, the 4th and the 5th of November, because that is the time that the US were having the elections. And I guess that time it was when it was the elections between Biden and Trump, and the embassy did not expect that they are going to shut down the embassy, and so that happened. And so they had to cancel my embassy date. I remember being so frustrated. I was so frustrated. Oh my god. And I had not told anyone from my family. That I might have mentioned back in 2018 about me wanting to visit America, but still it wasn't something that my family had taken it seriously, that I'm really still considering it. Waka cancel. Immediately that happened, I just booked. Me and my friends just decided to go to Mombasa. And I stayed in Mombasa for 2 weeks. 2 weeks in Mombasa. I was so frustrated. Oh my god. And I remember when I told my mom was so happy. My mom was showing sympathy, but also at the same time my mom was like, deep down I know she was like, it's a good thing, because she's no longer going. Because I think my mom at that time was like, what if she goes and what happened? Of course, how mothers are always like, So that got cancelled, and so I came back to Nairobi. When I was in Mombasa, that is when I applied for my DV visa for the green card, which, as you have watched my previous videos, that you already know that I did it the wrong way. So now I come back to Nairobi. That time I had a shop in Moi Avenue. I continue with my business as usual. I'm writing emails. I am trying to find numbers to call the embassy to find out when they are gonna call me and reschedule my embassy date. Now November ikaisha, now we move to December. When we got to December, of course the embassy closes down because of the holidays, and so I thought now I have to wait for January. December nikaenda Ushago. I stayed there for a while. January came. I was still writing emails and calling and trying to inquire what's wrong or when they're gonna call me to go. And now that time is now when I got so, as I said, I wasn't so interested in coming to America, but also I wanted to get that visiting visa. But after they cancelled my date, that's when I became really like I have to get this visiting visa. So January 2020, I'm still writing to them. Then guess what happens in 2020? COVID happened, so there is no way the American government was gonna call me for a visiting visa to come to America. COVID had already hit, and at that time hatukuwa tunajua that COVID is gonna be here for a while. And still I was very hopeful. So we moved to January 2020, February, nothing, and then March, like the whole world, or like things were shut down, no traveling, whatever, it was shut down. And I remember March, during my birthday, I was very angry because I felt like now I have to close my shop, and I closed my shop for 2 months. So mid-March, and then April, and then I opened my shop again in May. Then I decided, deep down, I just decided that maybe even getting a visiting visa is God's plan. And now I was not meant to get that visiting visa. So I continue with life kawaida. 2020, I opened the shop again in May. Tukaendelea na life kawaida. That time I only had one shop and 2 nail technicians. One was a permanent technician. The other one used to come with, I have many clients. So business blossomed, and in September I got another opportunity to open another shop around Koja in town. If you're from Nairobi, then you already know what I'm talking about. And I remember that time I decided that I need to come. I no longer want to go to America to visit. I want to go for another purpose. So now 2020 sasa, during still the COVID time, I opened another shop, which was such a huge risk. And when I opened that shop, I did not want, my first shop was called Jenny Beauty Parlor, and so the second shop I did not want it to be associated with my name. So we brainstormed with my sister, and we came up with the name Mary. We opened the shop. So fast forward, the shop did so well up until the end of 2020. COVID is still there. We are still doing well. So December comes. Remember, now it's an year already since the 4th of November. We have already gotten to December. But in December, I go to Ushago again. Life continues. And then January, when you're doing resolutions for that year, I decided that maybe now I should apply to schools in America and see if I get an opportunity. But still COVID was there, so I started doing my online classes back in Kenya. And also at that time I got a job as a lecturer at a school in Nairobi called Nairobi Institute of Music and Performing Art. Nairobi Institute of Music and Performing Arts. So I got a job there to teach character makeup, and so I taught there for the first semester from January to April. So that's the time I started rethinking about it, and I decided maybe I'm gonna give it another trial, but now not the visiting visa. So I do it again, and then guess what these people do? They give me the exact same date, 4th of November, as my appointment date. Do you know how many times I tried to cancel that date? Because I was like, 4th of November is a bad omen. 4th of November is really a bad omen, and I don't want to go to the embassy on the 4th of November. But of course, if I had to cancel that, singepata another day to go there. So I So I get the date on the 4th of November. Now this time I'm really determined. I remember I was telling people that I'm going to the embassy to pick up my visa. I'm not going for an interview. I'm going to pick up my visa. So we continue. I did not tell anyone. The only person that knew in my family was my sister, my younger sister. She knew about it. So 4th of November comes, I go to the embassy, and they approve my paperwork and all that. And so they tell me, when the embassy gives you approves your migration, what they tell you welcome to America. So I think those words really stuck with me, like welcome to America. 1 week later, now that's the 4th of November. Remember, 2 years later, that's when they have approved my migration. So from 2019 now to 2021, 4th of November. So now after that, and I start rethinking, wow, I've gotten before that, now in 2021, like my business was doing really, really, really well. And so it was also time now to grow again. And I remember I went that time, I had 2 shops. In August, I had to close one of the shops, and then because there was the Sanford fire, and so I closed one of the shops. But now it was becoming overwhelming, and so I was deciding between coming to America or just continuing with my business and just open another bigger nail parlor called Nailed. And so I remember going to this building called Bazaar Plaza to look for a store. And that specific day, I remember the outfit that I was wearing. It was a ragged jeans. I hope I can get that photo so that I can attach it here. And immediately I walked to that office to inquire about renting the shops and all that. That person just looked at me and asked me, how old are you? Because alikuwa shani undermine, like, how are you going to afford, you young girl, you look like a school girl, how are you going to afford rent here? I don't think so. So she just dismissed me. And so I think that was a blessing, because if I booked that shop, then I would not have been able to move to America. Ingekuwa very complicated because the shop was really expensive and it would have been such a huge investment. So they dismissed me. That was in August, and then now November 4th I got my visa. So now it was time for me to think about selling my business, because once you're given a visa, there's a duration that you're given for you to move. And so my date was supposed to be, I had to move before the 20th of December. Immediately that happened, I got back to town. I got a lawyer. We drew a contract to sell my business and everything. And so 1 week after that, after the 4th of July, after the 4th of November, 1 week after that, I sold my business. And I sold it at a very good price. So I sold my business, and I decided that now I'm going to Nyeri to tell my parents about this story, because this is not something that I wanted to tell them on the phone. So I get home, I have all these papers. Niko hizi na paperwork hivi. Niko na hii contract ya duka, niko na passport yangu sasa, because they send you your passport with the visa in it. I wish I really had my passport so that I can show you, but I lost my passport, and I'm still waiting for my passport to come from Nairobi, which I've been waiting for the last 9 months. Nairobi, wow. So I go to Shago to tell my parents about it. My dad is a very practical man, so I really had to come with all the evidence. So venye nilifika Ushago, niliekelea all the paperwork on the table, and I put it out there, and I told them, here is all the paperwork. And so my dad is reading this, he's seeing my passport, and he did not have anything to say. He was just like, oh wow, okay, so this is really happening. Because at that time they could not object, because they were seeing it was for a bigger purpose. And so I tried to explain to them how everything works. Of course, they would be sad, because I'm a person that used to go to see my parents every month. And then now I had a very short period of time. I had like less than a month to move. So I stayed in Nyeri for like 2 weeks, and then I had to come back in Nairobi, because the person that had bought the shop was supposed to start being the owner of the shop from the 1st of December, and the profit that she would get from December would be hers, which December is the highest profitable month when it comes to the beauty business. So I come back to Nairobi, I'm there, and I had to call my nail technicians and sit them down and tell them that I'll no longer be your employer and all that, which was such a sad moment for them and for me as well. So that is literally how now things happened so fast. There's still people who are mad at me because I didn't tell them that I moved here, but unajua pia I had that's the thing. When you get rejected the first time, and you get rejected like your time when nilikuwa rejected for the 4th of November 2019, I still had the fear of that, because you can get a visa and you get to the point of entry and they deny you entry. Like, they can deny you entry. So I didn't want to tell anyone, or I just wanted to have that moment by myself. I remember on the 4th of November 2021 when I got my visa, I actually posted on my Instagram and I said it was trusting the timing of trusting in God's timing. Trusting in God's timing. And when I posted that, the person that I thought I was dating
call declined.
Embarrassing.
Call declined.
Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
Let's laugh about it. The person that I thought I was dating at that time, because this news are news that I was not disclosing the full information, just so that I don't have that disappointment again, because I just saw as if things are still gonna go wrong. Imagine your 4th of November, I posted that on my Instagram. I've just said that, trust in the timing of God. And then I go to watch this person's stories, and this person has posted another girl with him, writing that God has his own favorites. 1 year with you, babe. And I'm like,
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
but because 2021 would still be the same year that I had written to a man. I had written to a man telling them, if you have watched Grey's Anatomy, you know this line that Mary did. Grace says, choose me, love me.
So pick me, choose me, love me.
Imagine me, I wrote a whole paragraph to a man telling him that, only for him a few months later to say that God has favorites. And it was the same day that I got my visa, and I was like, and I just feel like at the time that I was coming to America, I knew for sure that I did not even want to seek help from anyone. Like, I have relatives here in America, but they are distant relatives, but I also didn't want to come here and be a bother to them. So I decided, from the first time I landed in the airport in America, I am going to pay my own rent. When I say that nailed is one of the biggest blessings of my 20s, I say that with a lot of confidence, because if it was not for nailed, I don't know where I would be. Like, I would be very, very frustrated with life, because I don't know if I would have moved to America. I'm not sure if my parents would have afforded to have me here. And so nailed really came through for me. And for all the people that really supported that business, I hold you very, very dear. I might even start shedding a tear here, because I hold you very, very dear in my heart, because you really made one of my dreams come true. And when I came here, I remember when I came here in December, I remember I was very, very scared. I was very, very scared. And I remember, oh my God, I don't want to cry. Oh my God. So I remember telling my parents, during the time that my parents were taking me, I was like bidding them goodbye. I remember telling them that if things don't work out for me in America, then I'm just gonna come back. But I was like, well, what am I coming back to? I've sold my business. And so when I came here, I really had to make things work. And so today, 4th of July, is like 2 years since the US Embassy approved my visa, which is such a memorable day for me. And I'm not saying that being here is such an achievement, but for me to achieve what I want to achieve in my life, like, I felt like at that point in my life, I really needed to be in America, and that is exactly what I did. So that is literally my my journey to America. So that's my embassy narrative. So stay tuned here, because I'm gonna give you more stories about my embassy experience and how I got to go through it. But for now, thank you for being here, and thank you for watching this video up to this point, and thank you. See you on the next one. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, to like and share, share and comment down below. Please, if you have an interesting visa experience or is looking forward to go to the embassy, please comment down below, and then maybe I can do a video about it. So thank you guys. See you on the next one.